Hello, it's Jimmy. Today I want to talk a little bit about giving money away. Saving money and watching it grow is nice, can be exciting, but giving it away is a lot more fulfilling. It is somewhat counterintuitive that I do a lot of planning to save money and pick good investments, really just to give it all away at some point. I don't give money in a haphazard manner. I use the same level of planning and due diligence as I do in picking investments as I do giving the money away. I rarely give money to organizations or individuals unless I have done quite a bit of research on them, at least for significant amounts. A little bit here and there for certain things. The roundup at Taco Bell, I don't mind doing that from time to time. I certainly don't give large planned gifts until I have done quite a bit of research on an organization. And typically that involves spending some time with their leadership and understanding how they run their operations. So basically, I put the same kind of care into vetting organizations as I do choosing investments and how I spend my money. Now, my reason for giving is because the organization or individual has a mission that aligns with my values. I don't necessarily give just to get a tax break. And I know that can be a topic at the end of the calendar year as people are deciding what to do with their taxes. But since most people don't itemize, it really has become less of an issue. Although, depending on your state, perhaps you can get a little tax deduction, but that really should not be the main motivation. It never has been for me. It has been a nice little benefit, and I'll certainly take advantage of those legal opportunities when they present themselves. It's just good stewardship to make sure that you're maximizing your giving because dollars given to the government typically are not used in the most wise manner. I have goals for giving the same way I have them for spending and savings. I make a budget. Although with giving, I do break it into three kind of distinct timelines or forecasting short, medium, and long-term goals. Short-term is typically something I know that will be coming up within the month, and I can set some money aside for that. Although occasionally we'll have like our friends who seem to have lots of kids in private schools that will hit us up for like a fun run. Okay, well, we'll send $20 along for those types of things. That's kind of a neat way to go. We actually had young gal that if you donated to her school's color run, she would make a personalized joke and send that along to you in video format. I was rather entertained by that. If their school, their values, and their mission align with mine, they'll probably get a little something. If the kid doesn't know what the money's going to be used for or why they're out fundraising or they're just apathetic to it, no, they're not getting anything. And I typically reject requests from kids that need money for their sports organization. I will maybe someday go into depth about the racketeering that goes on in that arena of fundraising, but not today. But when some little Brett Hull wannabe shows up on my step that wants money for skates or whatever, I tell him to hit the bricks or ice, as the case may be. I'm not completely heartless. If the little one starts to cry, I do hand them some steel wool to dry their tears. And along with budgeting for those short term goals, I don't always know when these fun runs and whatnot are going to come up. So we just kind of keep a constant amount in the budget. Medium term goals are typically planned out a year in advance. I'll figure out when in the year that gift is going to be given, and then we'll budget for that in the months leading up to it. And I like that because it keeps that, usually it's an organization, that name in front of me every month when I do the budget. Because if I'm going to invest in these places financially, I should be invested in them personally. Long term, maybe more like estate planning. We did that a couple years ago. That's good to have because you just never know. I'm hoping I live to whatever the typical age is for somebody of my demographic, but should I get run over by a reindeer at Christmas, I want to make sure that the organizations that I'm involved with are taken care of. It's easier for the executor of my estate to take care of things. It's all written out, all the legal documents have been filed appropriately. So all they need to do is kind of push the stuff around to where it needs to go. I'm sure that if I were to meet my demise prematurely, I'll be missed, but at least my money won't be. At this point, I believe I'm probably worth more dead than alive, so I got to watch my back. A couple years ago, I wanted to kind of see the impact of what my giving could do. So I met with a gift planner at a local university that I have some connection to and had some nice conversations. I figured they'd be happy with whatever little amount was residual after I met my demise. And okay, here's a little bit for you. I hope it will do some good. But throughout the conversations that we had, they were bringing up terms like transformational gift and having generational impact. I guess the calculator that they use displayed more digits than the one I have. I hope to live a long and rather uneventful life, so whatever money I have saved and invested that makes it to the end will have a good and positive impact on that institution and the other ones that we have included in our estate plan. However, I'm a little bit impatient and I don't want to wait until I'm dead to see that money be put to good use. I decided to set up a small scholarship in my grandmother's name that can be used right now for students that are in a nursing program at this university. And I think that's great. Then the students can use the money now, and while I'm alive, hopefully, I'll be able to kind of see how that's panning out. It'll be good to know that the saving and investing that I have done up to this point is actually beneficial to people right now. So just like saving and investing and spending smartly, giving does take a little bit of exercise. It doesn't necessarily come naturally to everybody, and especially when giving a more intentional or larger gift, I think it's very important to be smart about how that's being done and making sure that the organizations will be using that money in a way that aligns with your values and that it won't be wasted. And like anything, the more you do it, the easier it gets. And it's fun. It's really quite enjoyable to give money away, and not in a weird money cannon fashion or just throwing bricks of dollar bills down the street and watching people grab them. That's kind of weird, but however you want to give the money, just make sure you're doing it intentionally. Well, that's all I got on that topic of giving for today. As always, thanks for watching and hope you're having a great day.